First bill this morning is House File 1098, Representative Jordan. Welcome to committee. I will make a motion that House File 1098 be laid over for possible inclusion. To your bill, Representative Jordan.
Thank you, Chair Zhang, and good morning, committee members. It's an honor to be here as the author of House File 1098. People with disabilities are disproportionately unemployed and often face barriers to obtaining and retaining employment. I've had the honor of touring and get to know MDI personally in my district and can tell you that the work they're doing is transformational. And I'm so grateful to all the committee members here who have also managed to tour MDI either in my district or on the Iron Range. And MDI has a mission that we've all seen, not just to employ people with disabilities themselves, but to help people with disabilities get jobs in their communities, in our communities, and to help businesses support their employees with disabilities. MDI is developing inclusive job skills training and is supporting businesses to create inclusive environments. This creates opportunities not only for people with disabilities, but for all populations that might be marginalized in their physical or mental capacities or life situations. MDI is also unique in their reach across Minnesota. I've already talked about how they have multiple sites across the state, and they have specifically envisioned their unified work program to reach people across the state, particularly in rural and outstate areas where individuals and businesses may not have access to job skills training. The bill before you is very straightforward. MDI is asking to renew its $450,000 annual appropriation from the Workforce Development Fund to continue its work of providing inclusive employment opportunities to individuals with disabilities and to receive a $1 million one-time appropriation to build out its exciting effort around unified work to bring the lessons they have learned about inclusive workplaces statewide. We talk a lot about how to create inclusive workspaces, not only that represent every individual's unique abilities, but also encourage individuals into the workplace to begin with. I'm excited for you to hear more about this organization. And with me, I'd like to hand it over to the CEO of MDI, Eric Black.
Welcome to committee, sir. Please identify yourself for the record and proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Eric Black. I'm the president and CEO of MDI. I appreciate the time, Mr. Chair, and committee members for the opportunity to speak with you about MDI. MDI is a 59-year-old organization that's been operating to create the best out of individuals that have other abilities. As the representative said, Jordan said, we have a site here in Minneapolis, one in Hibbing, Cohasset, and Grand Rapids, and we employ roughly around about 530 employees. Of those 530 employees, over 200 have a disability. So we've actually created an inclusive employment group that really does thriving work within these operations. We do kitting and packaging. We have a medical division. And we also do various distribution products, totes that service large customers like Amazon, FedEx, DHL, Uline. During this time, we've been able to see how people with disabilities really thrive in work environments. And we've continued to put programming in place that wraps them with everything they need to really express themselves through the soft skills that they have. We've been able to do this and create a social enterprise that really has grown over the years to more than a $30 million organization now. We couldn't do this without your help. The staff that we have there are committed to individuals, and they make things really special. They think about the individual and what they uniquely need. And once you've done that, you really create an environment that really functions. And if you've ever toured MDI, it's really tough to understand or see or identify visually who actually has a disability and who does not, because they're doing phenomenal work all together in one thing. We want to grow this. So one of the things that I've had the opportunity in my previous careers, I worked for Cargill for 23 years. And during that time, I did venture investing. I traveled the world handling our innovation and marketing. And I began to see that technology is the way of the future. But you have to have technology in a way that can be delivered, I would say disruptively, but really at a cost-efficient factor. And we've developed that with our STEM box. As we all know, jobs of the future are really growing to be more technical in nature. And we said, if we don't do something, individuals with disabilities will be have further barriers from employment. And so we've created a box over the last year. I'll kind of use this pictorial. This comes with a computer. It comes with microbiological slides, so looking at samples that come from humans as well as leaves and animals. We have our virtual reality, which allows individuals to have an experience before their experience. It comes with a microscope. And we're able to do all of this for about $125. We say nobody else has that capability or has done that. And we're building this on purpose to work for individuals with disabilities. But when it works for people with disabilities, it works for all people, people of other underserved communities across the state. So we think we have something uniquely here, and this is what we want to continue to partner with the state on. Before you in the slides are this type of technology being utilized in some of our current unified work class. There's a picture of me having some joy putting on a circus training class for individuals at our own facility. This is the way of the future, and we want to get in front of this. Not only where we actually employ individuals, but across the state, I think, is the critical part. Another thing that I've been able to do is I'm a member of the Minnesota Chamber Board of Directors. So I've been across the state. I get an opportunity to look at the things that economically affect our businesses and what are their issues that they are facing and how do we operate as a better state to help them grow. Well, one of the things I constantly hear is workforce, 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 as I'm sure many of you do as you talk to your constituents. We've said we believe that MDI has a solution that uniquely helps us help business leaders, and that's by helping them employ individuals with other abilities within their jobs. We know that they're focused on the day-to-day activities, whether it's a retail store, could be a hardware store, could be selling shoes to a pizzeria. But that's their focus. So how do we help them have the capabilities to introduce individuals with other abilities? Well, that's our unified work program. It has two attributes. One of them is on the business side, where we go to businesses, we help them form an internship program. We do training it helps them remove implicit biases. It helps them focus on individuals' abilities, providing them the things that they need, and it kind of wraps them with their all-around services. This makes it really easy for them to employ people and remove the barriers that they have today that allows them to focus on their business. So now we begin to introduce another group into our workforce that has been disproportionately excluded. Those individuals that go into the workforce, well, they need skills too, right? We talked about some of the science and technology skills that they need, but they also need soft skills. These are the skills that once you're in a work group that allow you to be an effective team member, allows you to express your needs as long as the needs with others that come into play. We talk about accommodations, and a lot of times businesses think those are highly expensive, and we actually find out that the vast majority of accommodations cost nothing, or they cost less than $500, and they benefit all employees within the organization. So Unified Work has a skill development and training course, and this course is something that we've piloted and we want to continue to do across the state. We had 5 pilots in our last year that we effectively executed, which we trained over 50 individuals with disabilities to be more effective at communication, understanding mission statements, but overall expressions and the things that need to happen across the state. We've formed partnerships with 9 different service providers, which continues to get us access to other individuals across the state, and we've had a level of success. We did a training down in Rochester with a partner called Maxability. It's a 4-day training, and on the 4th day, we actually toured Mayo. And when we did that, individuals were actually able to see some of the jobs. One of the participants, his name was Drew. He had lost his employment as a lifeguard during COVID and hadn't had employment since. He actually, after going through our training, applied for a job at Mayo and got a job as an endoscopy tech assistant, paying more than $20 per hour. In Brainerd, we did something a little bit different. We trained a class of women who had been previously incarcerated, some had drug and alcohol addiction in the past, and our goal for them was to have a course that was be your own CEO and develop 1-year goals. One of the participants in that class, it was clear that she was there for the gas card and lunch when class started. By the end of class, she came up and said, "Why had no one ever told me this before?" So we know that our training and development courses, once again, work for all individuals. So we're excited to get those out across the state. As our Representative George said, we're looking for 2 things that we think is support. The base 450, that just keeps us going as our MDI and supports the over 200 individuals with disabilities that we have within our 4 walls. But the $1 million one-time ask is to grow this unified work program to benefit our state. Once again, getting out to a greater Minnesota where people have less access to these types of services having an opportunity to mail out a $125 STEM box where they can then take online training. We're developing an online learning platform. Also take our virtual classes which are offered. So we believe with the partnership with the state that we can have an impact that continues to grow our businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Representative Weems.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Black and Representative Jordan. Got me excited about this. Boy, what I love is the accountability that you have built into this and that you have a track record. I'm looking at the STEM boxes, the 120, it's 125 bucks a piece, and that's what the $1 million is geared for. That's what I understand. And that will go to all communities or all individuals around the state. It's not just limited to those 4 sites, so that people can link in and do the virtual and do the online stuff. Is there a particular metric or how many, I mean, if I did the math, 125 per million, is there a capacity issue that you have? Do you need to hire some more people to be able to reach? I'd like to hear a little bit more about that, Mr. Black.
Mr. Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, you're correct. And with this box, we're looking to get outside of our own 4 walls and communities as well. We have to continue to develop what I would call the programming that exists, right? We have our virtual reality, which we have currently a safety training course in virtual reality. We have a job training in light manufacturing, and we also have a interview training. So we have several platforms. We need to continue to develop those. Our learning management system has to continue to get increased to have more and more programming in it. So there is some background things that need to happen to make this more and more effective. We're also not an IT company. So one of the things that's prevented us from mailing these out today to everybody is what happens in 3 weeks when the computer doesn't boot up. So we have to do some things around that. The $1 million will also support our mobile academy, so it'll continue to get us out. We've identified about 20 different communities that we believe we can go to in the state, so it'll also go toward our in-person training and development, really most of our community-based program outside our 4 walls. Of the participants that we talked about and our response rate from surveys, over 40, I'll say 42% of those individuals after going through our class actually got employment. So we are driven to outcomes. So you'll see both development and advancement of this. You'll see a number of boxes go out. And one of the things that we want to do is we've committed to coming back to the committee with a formal report on the outcomes that we've achieved and where these have actually gotten out to and the success we've had.
Representative Weems.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Black, Rep. Jordan. I'm excited about seeing the progress of this, and I'd definitely like to see the brick and mortar site in action, and as well as this rollout for your STEM boxes. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Lead Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say good morning again, Eric. It's good to see you. Again, Representative Jordan, this is a great organization. I'm so glad I was led into that great organization here in town. And I don't know if there's 150, 200 people on the plant floor. There was a lot of people. I think Eric knew every single one of them. Mm-hmm. And they looked to him for that leadership, and the morale was as high as I've ever seen in any place I've ever been to. They are busy. Nobody is sitting around doing anything. They're moving, and they're doing some really great work. So I just want to say thanks. This is a great bill, and this is one of the things that is really helping get our workforce expanded is through work for you. So thank you very much for this. Keep up the good work. Thanks.
Representative Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, committee members. Yes, please come to MDI. I drive past MDI every day on my way here and think about the great work that MDI is doing. When you think about we desperately need to grow our workforce, and people with disabilities is a big group of people who want to work and can work and be part of our workforce. So making sure that we are developing the ability to include these people in our workforce is something that we can do with this investment. So I hope you will consider this and include it in your omnibus bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Jordan. I will renew my motion that House File 1098 be laid over for possible inclusion.